Hey guys, this week for Weapons Wednesday, we're going to take a look at some of the newest weapons we just added to the KarateMart.com website. But before we begin, if you could just like this video and subscribe to our channel, that would be awesome. Alright, so similar to previous weeks, I had Amanda go back into the warehouse and pull a bunch of our newest items for us and box them up for me, so I don't know what they are. She also grabbed a couple of watermelons, which apparently means I'm supposed to use some of the weapons. Let's go ahead and Amanda, hand me the first box. Oh, this thing's cool. I like this. This is the brass cat defense keychain. Now, I've shown off some of these cat self-defense keychains in previous videos, but we've never seen one like this before. This is actually molded out of solid brass, and it is heavy. This is actually 5.5 ounces, and it just feels comfortable in your hand and just really, really solid. So I am really glad that she grabbed this one. I remember when this came in, I was really excited about it because if you've seen my previous videos, I actually really like the cat defense keychains because they're so comfortable. They're a little bit bulky in your pocket, but I mean, it's not obvious that I have it in there. It's a pretty good size for your pocket, fits on your keychain nicely, but this just feels so solid and so comfortable in my hand. You could definitely use that for self-defense, but you need to be aware of this. Check your local laws to make sure this is legal in your area because every city, state, country, municipality has different laws when it comes to these kind of things, and you don't want to get yourself in trouble by carrying something that's illegal in your area. But this is really cool. I like this a lot. Let's see how comfortable it is to hit something. So I've got this watermelon here, I might as well use it, right? So let's see. Oh wow, that just got juices all over the Wing Chun dummy, so that's not good, but put a pretty nice gash in that, and as far as like comfort goes, my hand feels great. That didn't hurt my hand at all, really comfortable. I just love this thing. I actually think this is probably my favorite new keychain self-defense weapon. Super into this. Don't think there's much else to tell you about it. It's about 3 inches tall by 2.5 inches wide. And yeah, that's about it. But I'm gonna go ahead and put that away and let's check something else. Okay, so it looks like we've got a number of small boxes today, which is kind of cool. I like smaller self-defense items because they're more concealable. So let's just see what this guy is. Oh, cool. Okay, so this isn't a new item for us. This is something we've been carrying for a while, but I only showed them off in a video a long time ago, and it was one of my first videos and one of the ones I really don't like. So it's good that we're showing it off again. These are the stealth cat rings. And so let's just kind of look at them. They come in 3 colors. There's a chrome, a gold, and then a black. And what's so cool about these is they're very concealable. So just took the black one out, which is my favorite of them. And we just put them on our finger, and like to the untrained eye, that just looks like a standard wedding ring or something. So I really like that. Doesn't hurt my hand to be hitting, even though the spikes are on the inside of my hand. It doesn't hurt at all. But if you did have to defend yourself, you just flip that around and you've got 2 pointy spikes that would come out to protect you. Now, I've heard some criticism of these over periods of time where people say that, you know, by having something like this in your knuckle, you could break your finger. And yeah, I get that. I totally get that, and that is a concern. But if it comes to saving your own life, I think hurting your finger might be worth it. But for me personally, I probably would just use my bare fist because that's what I've been trained in. But for someone who has not been trained properly in self-defense techniques, I mean, this could actually mean the difference between life and death. I mean, that's really sharp, and I can't imagine anyone getting hit by that and not wanting to run away or, you know, having some major, major damage to them. Let's just see if it hurts my finger to actually strike the watermelon with this thing. No, I mean, it really didn't. Yeah, it honestly isn't at all, and it's just putting little holes in it. So, I mean, as far as that goes, I could see if that hit something like really hard, that could hurt. I could see it pushing your knuckle in and actually possibly breaking this finger. But it would have to be something really hard, and honestly, I think protecting yourself, I don't think that would happen. I could be wrong. I've also heard people say that they swear by these for like slapping too. Like if you had to slap someone, you've got that on the inside of your palm, and that would tear away flesh pretty easily. So I think these are a pretty cool weapon, especially for something so small, and you know, you can't even tell I have that. So that's pretty awesome. But I'm just gonna stop the camera and fix this little mess that I've made over here, because we are dripping some watermelon all over the carpet, and that's not good. So, all right, be right back. All right, so I've got that big mess all cleaned up, and what's nice is I still have one watermelon left to strike with something. But let's go on to the next item. Okay. This is cool. This is the Hidden Blade Mace. And upon first glance, it looks like it's just you know, a standard medieval mace. It's got that medieval flanged mace head to it, which is pretty cool. It's got a good weight to it. Looks like it is roughly 1 pound and 5 ounces. So that gives you a pretty nice weight to strike with. And the majority of the weight seems to be in the head of the mace. And that mace actually has like kind of sharp edges to it. So I can see that doing some real damage. I personally would probably consider this to be more of a fantasy type weapon, but it could definitely be used for defensive purposes as well. Kind of cool, but it looks like it is made out of a very strong, thick-walled aluminum for the shaft, and then if we open that up, all right, it's got this blade on the inside. That's kind of cool. I mean, it's got a sharp point to it, but the blade itself is dull. And I guess for me, that's a little bit disappointing. I would prefer that to be sharpened. But you could always get a sharpener and sharpen that up, or you could use a belt sander and sharpen that right up. So it's definitely something you could sharpen. But I guess what I like about this is when you take out the blade here, you've got 2 weapons. You've got one you can strike with there, you've got one you can stab with. I mean, that's pretty neat. Definitely more fantasy, in my opinion, but pretty cool. And they both have a pretty good weight to them. Like, I like how it has this rounded pommel at the end, so it'd keep your hand from slipping off of it. This is all machined nicely too. It's got those machine grooves in it that actually give you a nice strong grip. So yeah, 2 weapons in one, you hook it together and you've got a really nice solid mace to it. I like it. Let's see, is there anything else I need to tell you about it? It's approximately 24 inches long in length. When you take the sword out, the sword itself is about 16.5 inches. So you've got a pretty good little sword there. I mean, small, more wakizashi size, but I don't know, a sword. So pretty cool for a fantasy weapon, we'll put it that way. So I like it. I think it's pretty neat. I don't think there's anything else I really need to tell you about it. The blade inside is made out of a stainless steel, and that's about it. So let's move on. Let's find something else. Let's see if we have anything else that's cool here. All right, here we go. Next box. What do we got? Oh, cool. Yeah, I like this one. This is the needle point neck knife. And I remember looking at this when it came in, and I like some things about it. Some things I don't like about it, but overall, I think it's a pretty neat neck knife. So if we look at it, the thing I like the most is that it's small. A lot of the neck knives we carry are a little bulky. They'd show up underneath your shirt. This thing's so small that if that's underneath my shirt, you're not going to be able to tell I have it on. It's tiny, and then it also comes with this breakaway chain, so that if you're wearing it and someone decided to try to choke you with it, that would just break away, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. But as far as a knife goes, let's take a look at this. So if we look at this, it's just this tiny, tiny little knife, and I like that. I actually really like that. You could do some pretty major damage with this. The whole thing is 3.5 inches long. The blade itself is only 1.5 inches. So that's kind of nice. There's a lot of states where, you know, they've got the law for only a 2-inch blade, and that's helpful for that. All right, so it's got these little finger grooves here that would allow you to hold it. And then it's got these thumb notches up top too that help you get a good grip on it. So you could actually strike with this pretty well. My biggest concern would be that there's nothing really stopping your finger from sliding up there. If you weren't gripping strong enough, if you're gripping strong enough, you're going to be fine. But if your grip wasn't strong enough, I could see your finger sliding up and getting sliced on that blade. So to me, that's a little bit of a concern. But overall, for what this is, for such a small, little tiny blade, I like it. I like how small that is and how concealed that is. I think that's pretty sweet. I mean, let's put it under my shirt and see if we can even see it. I mean, yeah, completely stealth. So I like that. But, so the whole thing weighs only about 1 ounce, which that's nice too. I really like how light that is. And it's also got this vented handle, which is kind of nice. It gives it a unique look and also makes it weigh a little bit less. And this is made out of a stainless steel. So it's really all there is to say about it. I think it's kind of neat for a little concealed neck knife. Pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and put that away and look at something else. Okay, so we've got another small one here. Let's see what this is. Okay, this is kind of unique. This is the mini hand axe. So let's just take a look at this. All right, check that out. That's definitely a very unique blade. I like that. Kind of reminds me of like maybe a push dagger or an ulu knife or something along those lines. It's small, and I really like that because you can conceal it really easily. And it's got these thumb notches over here to give you additional control, which I like. I guess I don't like this. I don't like how I only have 3 fingers around it. So you're kind of sacrificing your control of the weapon by making it so small. So in my opinion, I would prefer it to be just a little bit longer in the handle, possibly a little bit longer in the blade. But for a small weapon that's very concealable, I like that. I think it's kind of cool. Now, I don't know how you'd use a knife like this. I mean, you could definitely strike with that point pretty easily. You could use it as a slashing weapon. I could see that being a good thing. The blade itself is really sharp. It's very sharp down here. It's sharp here. It's sharp there. I mean, that's pretty awesome to have so many points that you could strike with. Plus the blade itself is really sharp, so I like that. It's also full tang. If we look at that, that's pretty awesome. Let's see, what else to tell you about it? It weighs only 2.5 ounces, so that's pretty awesome, having something that light as a concealed blade. Definitely check your local laws before you decide to carry any weapons, but I think this is pretty neat. And this is less than 5 inches long, so tiny, tiny little knife. I like that. Pretty cool. Pretty awesome. I actually like this a lot. I think it's pretty neat. If it was a little bigger, I'd like it better, but you know, for a little concealed knife, I think it's pretty awesome. So, but let's go ahead and put this away and see what else we've got. Oh, this is awesome. This is the Spiked Combat Club. I love the look of this thing. I love the weight of it. Pretty awesome. It feels like something Bam Bam would have used on the Flintstones. That comment is going to age me really bad, I know, but you know, whatever. I guess one of the things I really like about it is it's made out of that solid polypropylene. And I would say it was about 15 years ago we started to see different weapons being made with polypropylenes and nylons and different forms of fiberglass. And I just really love that we're seeing more and more of this nowadays, because these type of materials will last a lot longer than like a wooden club. This thing will last forever, and they're super durable. You know, if you had a wooden club, it's going to get little dings in it and things. I think it was a couple of weeks ago where I showed off how durable the sword made out of this material was. I was able to break down a pellet, and it just tore the pellet apart. So pretty awesome. I love how durable these are. In fact, I think this is what we should probably use on the last watermelon we have. But let's just take a closer look at this first. So it's approximately 20 inches long, which is a really good length. The weight is all in the head of this thing. So if you're striking, you're gonna get a lot of momentum from that swing, which is pretty cool. It's also got this spiked end on the pommel, which I guess could be used as a glass breaker, but I would probably use it as a defensive weapon. Like if you were striking and then you had to follow through with the spiked pommel. I mean, that's pretty sweet. Let's see, anything else I need to tell you about it? It weighs about 1 pound, 9 ounces. This thing's kind of similar to like a trench club or a mace of some sort, but I guess it was kind of designed for urban combat, and I can see why. I mean, it's just the right weight for striking. It's a pretty sweet little weapon. In fact, I definitely want to go ahead and strike the watermelon with this, but let's just give you a little bit closer look. I mean, that thing's pretty awesome. It's even got these little spikes on the end up here. Pretty sweet. So yeah, let's go ahead and I'm gonna bring the Wing Chun dummy outside with the watermelon, and let's just destroy the last watermelon with this. I mean, it's obviously gonna just smash the watermelon, but it's fun to see. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I hooked the watermelon to the top of the Wing Chun dummy, and I'm just gonna give it one really good hit to see how well this club does against it. So let's give it a go. That's pretty good. I like it. All right, let's go back inside. All right, so as you can tell, this spiked combat club absolutely destroyed the watermelon, and it is so much fun to do that, so I love it. And what's awesome is if you look at this, there is zero damage to it at all. You can see there's some water on it because I washed it off already so it wouldn't get all sticky with watermelon juices, because I actually want to keep this thing for myself. So I like this. I think it's an awesome weapon, but if you have any questions on this weapon or any of the other ones I showed off in this video, leave them in the comments below. Make sure you check out KarateMart.com to see all the new weapons we just got added to the website, and be sure to check us out next week for another Weapons Wednesday.